Hi, my name is Harry Redding, and today I'm going to be talking with you about an 18th century philosopher named David Hume. David Hume is best known for his works, A Treatise of Human Nature and An Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding. For the purpose of this video, I will be focusing on an inquiry concerning human understanding due to its nature as a staple of empiricist philosophical thought. In An Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding, Hume lays out a framework of human reason in which experience and habit are fundamental for the development of rational thought. This concept is in direct contrast with Descartes' philosophy of a thinking rational mind. However, it is evidenced by findings from the modern psychological science. Hume posits that the source of our ability to understand and rationalize the world around us is the senses. It is through sense data that we understand the stimuli we encounter. We cannot make this assumption through pure reason alone. Hume extrapolates this idea to analyzing causal relationships. We usually use our prior experience of the assumed link between two events to indicate that they will occur in tandem once again. We use the information from our senses to set up the causal links that describe how the world around us works. Without the ability to receive this information, there may be differences in how an individual perceives the world around them. Such a person may lack some causal links, or even not know of their existence without another person describing them. Hume states that no knowledge can be held a priori. We as beings learn everything about the world over time through experience. As such, when we do not have knowledge of a subject, we cannot use pure reasoning to come to an understanding about the topic. Rather, we have to use prior knowledge gained through experience to assess a current situation. These experiences set the framework for how we will interact with and perceive the world in the future. Our ability to recognize patterns and links between different events and ideas is rooted in how we saw the world as children. This process is not a conscious event, but rather it is a subconscious relation of memories that leads to the conscious rational process we perceive. To describe this, Hume uses the example of two magnets stuck together. If an individual with no prior understanding of magnetism were to pick up these magnets, they would require trial and error to discover that the magnets can be pulled apart. They would not be able to make this connection through pure reasoning. They also would not be able to understand the properties that cause this interaction simply through reasoning. Rather, it would require learning about the physical properties of a magnet and how they interact. I think that in the case of An Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding, Hume's aim was not to produce an all-encompassing philosophy on the origin of human reason. Rather, I think Hume is trying to assemble a framework for how we think. He does so in that he shows the importance of experience in rational thought, while he does not attempt to overtly say where rational thought comes from. I believe that these concepts can be connected to psychology, in that human beings are born as largely non-rational animals. We are not born with the ability to rationally produce information without prior experience. We develop experiences through trial and error, by moving around, practicing talking, and even just looking at our surroundings. Hume's writing does not make mention of these connections directly, but rather his ideas can lead to these conclusions. He does not mention any metaphysical source for reasoning, but I think that it's because his philosophy has no place for it. Hume was very much a public philosopher, and as such he largely stayed away from such lofty concepts as the origin of our reasoning skills. While his philosophy may not come from any empirical testing, his reasoning is strikingly scientific. As such, Hume is a good example of the importance of scientific inquiry. By focusing on the physical rather than the metaphysical, we can develop clear understanding of how we operate. Metaphysics is very useful for questioning the origins of events, but Hume's empiricist philosophy, described in An Inquiry Concerning Human Understanding, is able to provide much more concrete and provable claims through the scientific method.